We did it. It's amazing. What, 18 months? What was our start point?
Yeah,
March?
18 months. So what was supposed to be just you and I?
Right. Duo.
A war broke out.
I'm trying to think when it busted loose, because we had done like 3 or 4 tracks.
Right.
I can remember you sending me Steve Morse's track, The In Crowd. I was walking around downtown Philadelphia, and with my headphones on, going nuts. I'm like, oh my God, can I believe, after hearing what he played on it. And so then you even said, I think you made the point, Jack, this is a much bigger album than we think. And then that was just the seed from where it shot off. But
Yeah,
because you had everybody, the Mutual Admiration Society.
But we've been playing together for forever.
Yes.
Really high school for sure.
Yep.
And then in the band that Steve played with and Jim and
sure.
Do you think we're going to do our just duo record once?
Well, we'll try. Maybe we have to have a rule where it's you can only have the 3 people in the room, the engineer, you and I, and then you have to shut it down.
Well, I think it worked good.
No, this is great.
What was the best part of it for you?
Just the process of starting in the room, like the 2 of us, and coming up with those tracks, and then you bringing in a song idea, and then maybe us shaping it together as like, well, let's try this groove on that song. Like the perfect example would have been like, I Want You Back. It's like we're not just doing covers for the sake of covers. It's like, let's give it our own treatment. And I think that's a key element that you brought up before, is that there's a history and a cohesiveness, kind of, that we have sort of a similar record collection, and there's a lot of overlaps in that collection so that we like the same kind of music. And what I'm going to do, and I know what you're going to do at a certain point in a song.
Well, but also I know that you're going to make sure I don't do something wrong too.
Well, no, I don't, and you were encouraging to me to say, hey, Jack, not session guy, or you had like a quote like,
this is artist time.
Artist time, right?
So is this the first record with your name on it?
I'm trying to think of it.
The title?
Yeah, I guess it is, actually, when I look back.
It's a good first one, huh?
No, it's going to be hard to top, that's for sure.
You think about why we made this record.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
My take is, I think it was kind of an idea that was spawned a while ago, but when we used to get together at the events in the desert and play, and then you would be leading it, was you on guitar, and then Jim Cox on piano, and sometimes bass with Dave Murata. And it's like, hey, we should be recording this, or we should do a project. And it's like, oh yeah, it's one of those things, you say that all the time, but to actually say, all right, we're gonna pick this date, we're gonna get a location, we're booking the room, let's go do it. You came to me, I think, and we were both sort of at a landmark birthday kind of point in our life, when we're going, well, hey, let's do a project for fun. And it's like, yeah, sure, why not?
We realized instead of doing gigs and staying out late, that we could actually go in the studio at 10, break at 1 for a crazy
Incredibly
meal.
Good meals, yeah.
And then if we weren't falling asleep, go back in the studio.
And finish it out, yeah. Yeah, it was not like a tedious process at all. It was so effortless and fun, and then each week we'd look forward to what's the next song.
So each time I would send you one of the guitar players that joined on board.
Oh my gosh. It's like a pyramid where it just keeps getting, bigger and bigger and better. I mean, I just, couldn't imagine that that's where it would have started, with just the 2 of us in a room.
Half of the songs you'd already recorded before your drums. Did you approach like playing John Petrucci's track differently?
A little bit.
Or Steve Vai's?
Yeah, probably a little bit. I think with Steve Vai's, it was probably closer to the original. To be honest, I wasn't that familiar with the song. So I think I was keeping it pretty close to what the original vibe was rhythmically. And then with John's, that was a fun challenge, because with Jim's help with the arrangement, we kind of had some built-in, so to speak, like, humor to the
feel, direction.
Let's take this song in a different, this direction, like the slow 12/8 to start with, and then the second song where it's, we were jokingly calling it "What Is Zip," sort of a Tower of Power-ish kind of funky approach. The Electric Parade is kind of a synthesized thing, but it's, had that sort of integrity. And then the last song is just like switched on double time, it's probably as fast as we're going to be able to play at this stage.
Did any of the artists surprise you?
I think all of them did, in the sense, not only because their enthusiasm and how much they gave. I mean, I don't know how many hours each one of them put in to achieve the excellence, which is just, that to me is like what an honor or privilege to have them be that enthusiastic. That
it was more. They did more than I thought they would.
Exactly, that's the way to say it. Yeah.
it's really just like you and it was good friends playing music
together, right? And I think, you know, when we were speaking with all of them as a group earlier, they all alluded to each other of how impressed they were with what each other did, and you know, hence again this mutual admiration society kind of.
It's unbelievable.
It's pretty amazing, yeah. And it's just, but I mean, you're the only guy that I know that could make something like this happen. I got to tell you that.
I got lucky.
No, I don't know about luck, but it's, you know, you have the vision and the hard work to do this, and you know, to put all these people together, and it's just, you know.
Well, I realize this is a once in a lifetime, and you couldn't plan it. It just happened.
Right. That's true.
And it happened one at a time.
Yeah, because everyone's schedules.
And then Steve Morse was so helpful to me.
Yes.
On my playing, because I wanted to make a record that I didn't have to make excuses for.
Correct.
And I had to live up to, the level of musicianship is very high on this record. From you, Jim, and all the guests. Wow. I didn't ask anybody to play on the record.
That's true.
I mean,
they all offered to be part of it.
Steve Morse was the closest, because he was kind of hinting, and I said, well, would you want to do something on that? And he says, yeah, I'd love to do that. So one at a time, it kind of snowballed into a neat way. And I think one of the reasons is that I think they realized it was really pure what we were trying to do.
Yeah, that element we talked about earlier with the group, and that was brought up several times by all of them about that. So that's the underlying factor, I think.
Jackie,
yeah,
thank you.
Thank you. Love you. Yeah. Thanks.